homicide, he got shot that night. Well, mostly on these rainy days, don't like to let the banjo play a film that Beatty would write. What do you do now? What do you do when the bad men are coming for you? What do you do now? What do you do when the bad men are coming for you? What do you do when they're coming after us? I get a lifetime supply of lithium.
All right, welcome back to the Taking the Lead Media Podcast, broadcasting from the island of Oahu. My name is Onofre, and welcome to episode 148. Today I'll be doing a GC Records themed show. Last year, the label turned 20 years old and celebrated with a one-day event. A two-parter. The first event took place in a comic shop, and it was a strip-down session, acoustic stuff, and Kill the Scientist performed there too. And then the main show was right next door at the Dive Bar. A total of 9 bands, and it was pretty stellar. I got some pictures up on the website. It was a great time. The bands were great, and the food truck, man, that was some good food. There was a chili dog that was out of this world, and it was so good I just wanted to go sleep right after. But cheers to GC Records, and here's to 20 more years. So GC Records had 4 new releases last year, and one of them was that first track you heard by the Rifleman, and that is the opening track. This is Anarchy off of their 6-song EP, Don't Laugh, This Is Serious. And it's 6 songs of folk punk and bluegrass, and it's a very catchy batch of songs, almost poppy, but enjoyable. Cool mandolin and guitar leads too, and lots of tempo changes that keep the songs exciting and fresh. The Break Your Face song sounds like a violent song, but it's based on the lyrics alone, but I also don't know all the words, just off the chorus. And the track Punk's Not Dead But Bob is a fun song about, I guess, fashion politics that I can get on board with. I mean, well, when I go to shows, it's unlikely I'll wear a band t-shirt just to keep it neutral. I'm afraid someone might call me out or something and talk shit about the band I'm repping. So just to avoid that, what I started doing, and this was a while ago, I started wearing my Raiders hat when they're still in Oakland, mind you. Turns out, though, I've made more friendly conversations and interactions because of this. So you know what? Shout out to the Raiders. Welcome home. Shout out to the one true nation, Raider Nation. That's right. All right, so up next, I have a track from Lipstick Pickups. They're a 4-piece pop punk band, surf punk, active in the early 2000s from Anaheim, California. GC released a collection of the band's work, including hard-to-find and out-of-print tracks from the band's previous records, including their first demo, a split with the Bikini Bumps, and a number of singles from various different comps. A lot of the tunes carry that lo-fi garage rock band quality to it, very raw and energetic punk and surf. There's even a distorted, upbeat cover of the original Batman theme, which closes the album. Lipstick Pickups have been featured on a number of GC comps and a 7-inch, and it's sweet that they compiled this collection of tunes of their work. The track I'll be playing is titled Black Cherry Soda Pop. Two versions of this track exist. I'll be playing the one from their split with Bikini Bumps, released through GC Records and Erectords. Another version appears on their one-sided self-titled 12-inch, originally released through Radio Beat Records. This is Lipstick Pickups. Next, I have a track from East Arcadia. They are a 5-piece from Cincinnati, and I should also mention Lexington, Kentucky, and San Francisco. They play punk, skate punk, and rock, fast and abrasive and catchy too. They were mostly active in the early 2000s, but since members have gone on to other projects such as Russian Attack, East Arcadia have a 5-song 7-inch and a full-length, both released through GC in 2001 and 2002, respectively. Also available through GC is a live set recorded from a show in 2001. 6 tracks, 7 songs. It's a rough recording, but you can for sure hear the intensity of the band's sound, which is cool. And last year, GC released the band's long out-of-print first album, All the Same. And it's not much different than any of their other stuff released afterwards. Same attitude, same sound, same intensity. It's still primo tunage. Sometimes going back to older recordings of a band could be cringeworthy, but not here. Streaming the album on Bandcamp, the song I'll be playing is the title track. The album is All the Same. This is East Arcadia.
So easy to judge on the basis of anything. Race, gender, class, and looks, yet it's all the same. Stupid divisions created to divide ourselves, assuring us we are superior to everybody else, 'cause we're all the same, yeah, we're all the same. To save humanity. What the fuck's the point? Aren't we stronger together? If we continue like this, will it ever get better? Maybe we'll stand up and join everyone in the world. We are all one, black and white, lower class, upper class, warriors.
Alright, that track you heard comes from Enemy of the Sun off of the Darker Days EP. That's a passion project and solo work of John Sava, also part of Amish Electric Chair, and ton of other works. John was kind enough to have a chat with me last year about his work. Do check it out on episode 138. Enemy of the Sun is a bit heavier than most GC bands, more hardcore and punk, the themes focusing mostly on environmental issues. And the EP is a tight 5 songs with heavy riffs and double pedal action. I was looking forward to that EP for a little bit. I remember the first announcement was like maybe a year or even 2 years prior to the release, but it was worth the wait for sure. That's also streaming on Bandcamp. So before I get to the closing track, some social media drops. Be sure to check out this podcast website, takingtheleadmedia.com. Check out the site for past episodes, links to respective bands on today's episode, timestamps, and the occasional album review. Actually, I've been posting more reviews on this site, so more than usual, so do please check it out. The podcast is also on YouTube, search Taking the Lead Media, and on Tumblr at oneshotsideshow.tumblr.com. Do check out the podcast on iTunes if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button too. If you've got time to spare, please do leave a review and star rating for the show. Help the podcast climb the charts and suggest any improvements with the show. Do recommend the show to a friend. They just may find their new favorite band on a future episode. And hit me up on Twitter at TTLM Podcast. Love the interactions on there. Please send love, hate, comments, questions, music submissions, recommendations, and any other general correspondence to my email, takingtheleadmedia@gmail.com. Alright, so closing this episode is a track off of GC's latest release, the 20th anniversary album, GC 65. And it's 10 tracks from each of the performers at the event, that being Russian Attack, Toys That Kill, Bogtrotters Union, Gasoline Kills, Elicitor, The Rifleman, The Dirty Little Betties, Jesse Pino and the Vital Signs, Lawnmower Death Riders, and Kill the Scientist. And I've seen Gasoline Kills and Elicitor once before at the Evil Pie, like in 2018. So it was my first time seeing everyone else, although I did miss out on Kill the Scientist and Russian Attack and The Rifleman. I think they played earlier in the day at the comic shop. So I got to the dive bar like right at the end of the Dirty Little Betty set. Russian Attack played first, then I believe it was Bogtrotters Union, Jesse Pino, Elicitor, Lawnmower, Death Riders, Gasoline Kills, and Toys That Kill closed the show. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going in order of the pictures on my camera. So some cool things among the sets. The Rifleman did a cover of a Holding On to Sound song, Tommy Boy, and that track appears on the record. And Elicitor did a cover as well. They did Running Rampant, and Vanessa played drums that night as well, which was cool to see. 3/4 of Holding On to Sound on stage. Tommy Boy and Running Rampant are on the C album if you want to check that out. And Gasoline Kills did an ESL song, What You Say, off of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. And they may have done a Vlad and the Impaler song too, but I'm not sure which one. So that was cool to hear. Bogtrotters Union were a treat to see. Jesse Pino and the Vital Signs were excellent, very lively. It was cool to finally hear the songs off of Signal Received in a live setting. They didn't disappoint. And Lawnmower Death Riders were cool, but there were like a couple members doing like triple duty that night, like also playing in the Rifleman and Bogtrotters Union, which, each set was fun to watch though. And Toys That Kill were awesome to watch, very tight set, and a great closer to a fun event. Pick up the album if you get a chance. I think there's only a small number that remain. It also comes with additional digital tracks from the show and a bonus comp of Vegas artists, which is also available on Bandcamp. Much thanks to Shahab and GC Records. Thanks for the friendship. Thanks for being cool and kind. And thanks for the shout out on the album notes too. That was really sweet of you guys. My name is Onofre, and I'll be signing off until the next Taking the Lead Media podcast. Again, hope everyone is staying safe at the moment, keeping healthy, being kind to one another, and please do take care. This song I'll be closing with is the album opener, About Me, from Russian Attack. The LP is the GC Records 20th Anniversary LP. Thanks for listening.
is the part of the set where we slow down and have beer.